Good morning. Chapter 1 Crop Production and Management. Pahili and Boojo went to their uncle's house during the summer vacation. Their uncle is a farmer. One day they saw some tools like khurpi, sickle, shovel, plug, etc. in the field. I want to know where and how we use these tools. You have learned that all living organisms require food. Plants can make their food themselves. Can you recall how green plants synthesize their own food? Animals, including humans, cannot make their own food. So, where do animals get their food from? But first of all, why do we have to eat food? You already know that energy from the food is utilized by organisms for carrying out their various body functions, such as digestion, respiration, and excretion. We get our food from plants or animals or both. Since we all need food, how can we provide food to a large number of people in our country? Food has to be produced on a large scale. In order to provide food for a large population, regular production, proper management, and distribution is necessary. Agricultural practices. Till 10,000 BCE, people were nomadic. They were wandering in groups from place to place in search of food and shelter. They ate raw fruits and vegetables and started hunting animals for food. Later they could cultivate land and produce rice, wheat and other food crops. Thus was born agriculture. When plants of same kind are cultivated at one place on a large scale, it is called a crop. For example, crop of wheat means that all the plants grown in a field are that of wheat. You already know that crops are of different types like cereals, vegetables and fruits. These can be classified on the basis of the season in which they grow. India is a vast country. The climatic conditions like temperature, humidity, and rainfall vary from one region to another. Accordingly, there is a rich variety of crops grown in different parts of the country. Despite this diversity, two broad cropping patterns can be identified. These are Kharif crops. The crops which are sown in rainy season are called Kharif crops. The rainy season in India is generally from June to September. Paddy, maize, soya bean, groundnut and cotton are Kharif crops. Rabi crops. The crops grown in winter season, October to March, are called Rabi crops. Examples of Rabi crops are wheat, gram, pea, mustard and linseed. Besides these, pulses and vegetables are grown during summer at many places. Basic practices of crop production. Why paddy cannot be grown in the winter season? Paddy requires a lot of water, therefore it is grown only in the rainy season. Cultivation of crops involves several activities undertaken by farmers over a period of time. You may find that these activities are similar to those carried out by a gardener or even by you when you grow ornamental plants in your house. These activities or tasks are referred to as agricultural practices which are listed below. First, preparation of soil. Second, sowing. Third, adding manure and fertilizers. Fourth, irrigation. Fifth, protecting from weeds. Sixth, harvesting. Seventh, storage. Preparation of soil. The preparation of soil is the first step before growing a crop. One of the most important tasks in agriculture is to turn the soil and loosen it. This allows the roots to penetrate deep into the soil. The loose soil allows the roots to breathe easily even when they go deep into the soil. Why does loosening of soil allow the roots to breathe easily? The loosened soil helps in the growth of earthworms and microbes present in the soil. These organisms are friends of the farmer since they further turn and loosen the soil and add humus to it. But why the soil needs to be turned and loosened? You have learned in previous classes that soil contains minerals, water, air and some living organisms. In addition, dead plants and animals get decomposed by soil organisms. In this way, various nutrients in the dead organisms are released back into the soil. These nutrients are again absorbed by plants. Since only a few centimeters of the top layer of soil supports plant growth, turning and loosening of soil brings the nutrient-rich soil to the top so that plants can use the nutrients. Thus, turning and loosening of soil is very important for cultivation of crops. The process of loosening and turning of soil is called tilling or plugging. This is done by using a plug. Plugs are made of wood or iron. If the soil is very dry, it may need watering before plugging. The plugged field may have big lumps of soil called crumbs. It is necessary to break these crumbs. Leveling the field is beneficial for sowing as well as for irrigation. Leveling of soil is done with the help of a leveler. Sometimes manure is added to the soil before tilling. This helps in proper mixing of manure with soil. The soil is moistened before sowing. Agricultural implements. Before sowing the seeds, it is necessary to break soil clumps to get better yield. This is done with the help of various tools. The main tools used for this purpose are the plug, hoe, and cultivator. Plug. This is being used since ancient times for tilling the soil, adding fertilizers to the crop, removing the weeds, and turning the soil. This is made of wood and is drawn by a pair of bulls or other animals, horses, and camels. It contains a strong triangular iron strip called plug share. The main part of the plug is a long log of wood which is called a plug shaft. There is a handle at one end of the shaft. The other end is attached to a beam which is placed on the bull's necks. One pair of bulls and a man can easily operate the plug. Figure 1.1a part. The igneous wooden plug is increasingly being replaced by iron plugs nowadays. Hoe. It is a simple tool which is used for removing weeds and for loosening the soil. It has a long rod of wood or iron. A strong broad and bent plate of iron is fixed to one of its ends and works like a blade. It is pulled by animals. Figure 1.1b part. Cultivator. Nowadays plugging is done by tractor driven cultivator. The use of cultivator saves labor and time. Figure 1.1c part. Sowing. Sowing is an important part of crop production. Before sowing, good quality, clean and healthy seeds of a good variety are selected. Farmers prefer to use these seeds which give high yield. Selection of seeds. One day I saw my mother put some gram seeds in a vessel and pour some water on them. After a few minutes, some seeds started to float on top. I wonder why some seeds float on water. Activity 1.1. Take a beaker and fill half of it with water. Put a handful of wheat seeds and stir well. Wait for time. Are there seeds which float on water? Would those be lighter or heavier than those which sink? Why would they be lighter? Damaged seed becomes hollow and are thus lighter. Therefore, they float on water. This is a good method for separating good, healthy seeds from the damaged ones. Before sowing, one of the important tasks is to know about the tools used for sowing seeds. Figure 1.2a and b part both. Traditional tool. The tool is used traditionally for sowing seeds is shaped like a funnel. Figure 1.28 part. The seeds are filled into the funnel, passed down through 2 or 3 pipes having sharp ends. These ends pierce into the soil and place seeds there. Seed drill. Nowadays, the seed drill, figure 1.2b part, is used for sowing with the help of tractors. This sows the seeds in uniformly at equal distance and depth. It ensures that seeds got covered by the soil after sowing. This protects seeds from being eaten by birds. Sowing by using a seed drill saves time and labor. There is a nursery near my school. I found that little plants were kept in small bags. Why are they kept like this? Seeds of a few plants such as paddy are first grown in a nursery. When they grow in seedlings, they are transplanted to the field manually. Some forest plants and flowering plants are also grown in the nursery. Appropriate distance between the seeds is necessary to avoid overcrowding of plants. This allows plants to get sufficient sunlight, nutrients, and water from the soil. At times, a few plants may have to be removed to prevent overcrowding. 1.5. Adding manure and fertilizers. The substances which are added to the soil in the form of nutrients for the healthy growth and plants are called manure and fertilizers. I saw a healthy crop growing in a farm in the neighboring farm. The plants were weak. Why do some plants grow better than others? Soil supplies mineral nutrients to the crop plants. These nutrients are essential for the growth of plants in certain areas. Farmers grow crop after crop in the same field. The field is never left uncultivated or fallow. Imagine what happens to the nutrients. Continuous cultivation of crops makes the soil poor in nutrients. Therefore, farmers have to add manure to the fields to replenish the soil with nutrients. This process is called manuring. Improper or insufficient manuring results in weak plants. Manure is an organic substance obtained from the decomposition of plant or animal wastes. Farmers dump plant and animal waste in pits at open places and allow it to decompose. The decomposition is caused by some microorganisms. The decomposed matter is used as organic manure. You have already learned about vermicomposting in class 6. Activity 1.2. Take mung or gram seeds and germinate them. Select 3 equal sized seedlings. Take 3 empty glasses or similar vessels. Mark them A, B and C. To glass A, add little amount of soil mixed with a little cow dung manure. In class B, put the same amount of soil mixed with a little urea. Take the same amount of soil in class C without adding anything. Figure 1.3a part. Now pour the same amount of water in each glasses and plant the seedlings in them. Keep them in a safe place and water them daily. After 7 to 10 days, observe their growth. Figure 1.3b part. Did plants in all the glasses grow at the same place? Same pace? Which class showed better growth of plants? In which class was the growth fastest? Fertilizers are chemicals which are rich in a particular nutrient. How are they different from manure? Fertilizers are produced in factories. Some examples of fertilizers are urea, ammonium sulfate, superphosphate, potash, NPK, nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium. The use of fertilizers has helped farmers to get better yields of crops such as wheat, paddy, and maize. But excessive use of fertilizers has made the soil less fertile. Fertilizers have also become a source of water pollution. Therefore, in order to maintain the fertility of the soil, we have to substitute fertilizers with organic manure or leave the field uncultivated fallow in between two crops. The use of manure improves soil texture as well as its watering retaining capacity. It replenishes the soil with nutrients. Another method of replenishing the soil with nutrients is thought crop rotation. This can be done by growing different crops alternately. Earlier farmers in northern India used to grow legumes as fodder in one season and wheat in the next season. This helped in the replenishment of the soil with nitrogen. Farmers are being encouraged to adopt this practice. In the previous classes, you have learnt about rhizobium bacteria. These are present in nodules of roots of leguminous plants. They fix atmospheric nitrogen. So children, we had an audiobook of this part 1. So if you like this channel, please like, share and subscribe. And if you want second part 2, so please comment in the comment box. Thank you very much.